Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
And one of the greatest tragedies in life is getting to the end of your life and looking back and realizing it was mediocre and it didn't have to be that way. The number one reason is people are unwilling to listen and care about what's important to the other person. But what if you could be someone who dared to care about everybody in your life? When you're in love, smoke gets in your eyes. But when you're anxious, you talk more than you listen. I asked my wife a month ago, I said, I don't know whether to have an affair or buy a motorcycle. And she said, if you have an affair, I'll kill you. If you get the motorcycle, you'll kill yourself. Go with the bike. Okay, so we're going to talk about self-esteem today. So one of the things that hurts self-esteem most is when you shoot from the hip instead of your head and you shoot yourself in the foot and you make things worse. The tip for today is, and I learned this, I was a practicing psychiatrist, and hope you weren't on the other end of this, but when we saw people in the emergency room and they were out of their mind, we sometimes put them on something called the 72-hour hold. That means for 3 days we would kind of protect them from themselves. And here's the tip. Whenever you're upset about something, if you don't do anything to make it worse, which most of us do, within 72 hours, you will have a breakthrough that you couldn't have had the bad thing not happened. In fact, when I ask most people when they've had big breakthroughs in their life, how often was it preceded by a breakdown that was neither invited, wanted, or fun? Most people will say, I think most of the time I have this breakdown. And what happens is your mind is falling apart because it doesn't fit the reality that you're facing. And often what you do is you panic and you do things to make it worse. You go on a bender, you spend money you don't have, you do all kinds of things. And here's the sad thing about that is when you're doing these shameful things to cope with the setback, you then feel guilty and shameful and you miss the breakthrough.
Wow. We are a guilty people. We have been shamed by the world. Today's topic: